Already right now, you're seeing with these aid packages for Ukraine, Taiwan, Israel, huge pushback. Democrats overwhelmingly supporting it. But with what's happening on college campuses, Democrats would have to lose massively in order for support for Israel to remain. I don't know where you go from there, though. With deep state support for Democratic politicians, the only thing that's going to happen is more and more of the base is going to be anti-Israel, and they're not going to get elected. So what is the deep state going to switch to supporting Republicans now?
Well, it's interesting. You mentioned something that I think is really important and instructive here, which is the fact that there are many Americans who don't necessarily think that Israel shouldn't exist, but who do not want American resources to go towards fighting this nation's war for it. And when Israel comes up in the American media, it's virtually always about some kind of conflict. And so much of the media wants to encourage American support for it, though, again, it depends on the publication, etc. I think you're mostly right. If support for Israel means support for the IDF and what Israel's military is doing, or I should even say more broadly, the United States having to support and fund that, then yes, I would say most young people don't support Israel. You're not going to see much support for it recover in the future here. And you can, and I've said this on the show before, you can say there's great people in Israel, etc., but criticize in the same way that you criticize America. Like, I love America. I also don't co-sign every single thing America does militarily. And I think that a lot of young people, they don't even necessarily have a strong opinion one way or another on Israel. They wouldn't say they like it. They wouldn't say they dislike it. They would just say, we don't really need to be involved.
Right. And I think especially on the heels of passing, $17 billion in aid for Israel over the weekend, I mean, this is going to spark a lot of irritation among young people who feel the strains of the economy. But I also think it's interesting, I don't know if you guys have been following this, but there were a lot of layoffs at Google's last week because there were in-office protests where some people were arrested, taken out because they were occupying an executive's office because they're against Project Nimbus, which is this deal. Right. Amazon and Google are involved in this, and it's they're supporting Israel's military through cloud technology, or like allowing them to use cloud technology for some of their operations. And you have these young people who have grown up being told you are political, you're left-leaning, and also you should be active. You should stage protests. You should be disruptive. And now these chickens are coming home to roost, so to speak, because they are acting out in a way that they believe to be morally right. They are against some of these things, but all of the companies that have benefited from the progressive ideology their workers have been taught are now like, wait a minute, but you can't do that here. Like, that was their CEO's message afterwards, like, not in the workplace.
So the big story for us last week was that our two biggest episodes ever got deleted from YouTube. Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Michael Malice, Blair White, Drew Hernandez, me, Luke, Ian. It was massive. And then Michael Malice and Alex Jones both deleted the same time. Luke Rudkowski of We Are Change, man, I can't talk tonight, just had, he tweeted out one of his videos from 2012 just got taken down. And I'm like, something happened at Google where they flipped a switch and they were like, you know, they have a switch that says like election interference on, off. And they're like on. And, but you look at what happened with this Google employee thing over Israel.
Yeah.
Employees occupied their own boss's office and got arrested. They fired 28 of them, right? Hannah Claire? It was 28?
It was 28 in total.
Okay,
I can't remember how many got arrested. Sorry.
You were very quiet, and I was like, I must be wrong.
No. I'll pull the number to be exact. But it was massive, and it was in 2 different offices, which means it was a coordinated, effort from different people. And the group behind it was this group called No Technology for Apartheid, I believe. Again, I should pull my article, which is on Scanner News. You guys can read it there. But again, this is like a form of activism that young people feel as though it is their responsibility to carry out, which I find interesting because, again, I think this is showing Democrats that the young people they cultivated and raised don't believe the things they thought they did.